Welcome to Scorched and a general reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of May. I hope you are well. We're using the Night Sun Tarot for you today. So, if the reading resonates and you'd like to go a little bit deeper, there will be a link at the end where you can access at the end. It'll be in the description box down below. That will take you over to Vimeo, or you can come over and join the Patreon community. They're a sound bunch. I absolutely love the bones of them all. And then you'll get access to all of the extended content for no extra cost. So if you want to cross-watch or whatever, that is sound. Let's have a look and see what's going on with you. Can I have 3 cards for Pisces, please? Very first card out is the Hierophant. That's Taurus energy. We have Devil. Kind of figured that one was coming out, and do you know when the Hierophant came out I actually thought it was the Devil. No, it's not. There it is. Capricorn energy. And what's coming towards Pisces? Thank you. We have the Ten of Wands here. So it looks like it's a bit challenging in some ways, but the saving grace of it all I feel is this Lover's card underneath here. Followed by the Fool. Oh, goodness me. What the fuck? It just keeps on coming. Right. Look, this is insane. Right. So, saving grace is what's going on underneath. It's important that you know this, right? So we've got the Lover's card. It is for you to choose what happens next. This is important. Peg that, because we're going to be coming back to it. But it is followed by the Fool, then the Page of Wands, then the Ace of Pentacles, then the Nine of Cups, and then the High Priestess. There's a lot here. Well, the World card is sitting behind that, and the fucking Star too. There is a lot of major arcana energy sitting in the wings, waiting to support what you choose next. And it is your choice, even though you may be feeling quite stuck and a little bit burdened at the moment, Pisces. This is very important to remember, right? So we're going to get some clarifiers. Let's just get these. A little swoosh. Let's give them a shuffle. We'll see what's going on here. So, why is the Hierophant here, please? We have the Five of Wands, and we have the Ace of Swords. And why is the Devil here, please? Ooh, 2 come out together. We've got the Four of Cups, and we've got the Six of Wands coming out together. And tell me about this Ten of Wands. We have the Five of Pentacles. This is Ten of Wands here. Whoa, yes. And then we have the Page of Pentacles and Death coming out together. This is, even before I looked at it, that's what I was going to say, this is a month of either ors, right? You can choose what happens next. If you do nothing, then it feels to me like this month is going to be quite uncomfortable for you. But if you show up in the way that the Lover's card often indicates to us is necessary, right? Actually put yourself into alignment with what is for you by taking action in things, then the outlook is very, very, very much improved. It's about balance. Now, I think that there is, Two of Swords is underneath that. I think that there is going to be for you an urge to sort of return to defaults, whatever that means for you, an urge to return to defaults. So, if you are likely to hide away when you're feeling all a little bit emotional and there are things going on, that would be a default for you, and you are kind of counselled against going back to any kind of default this month, right? I'll get into, well, I might say that for Vimeo actually, but we'll see how it goes, right? We start off in your recent past with the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is everything that is rigid, right? As far as the way I see it. It has many beautiful qualities. But the thing that's really drawing my eye is not even the image on the card, it's the number at the top. It is number 5. And doubly so because we have here the Five of Wands. Now, 5s in the tarot, 5s in numerology, they're associated with disruption. a considerable amount of disruption. So where 4 is foundational energy, the 5 sort of comes along and blows that up a little bit and asks you to revisit it. Make sure that what you are doing is right. Maybe even just leave it alone and go and do something else instead, right? It's associated with upheaval and whatnot. Aquarian Insight, if you ever watched her videos when she was back on the day when she was in YouTube, she always referred to the cards numbered 5 as the agents of chaos. Now that's somewhat at odds with what the Hierophant represents, because the Hierophant is about, you know, kind of, well, it's got an aspect of teaching to it for sure, but the Catholic overtones of that card are something that I personally find it really difficult to ignore. And so what we have then is kind of like a triumph of style over substance, where, you know, these rituals are repeated, but the meaning of this has gone. You know, it's just about pomp and circumstance and you know, who gets to wear the biggest hat, that kind of energy. I'm not meaning to diss anyone who is Catholic. I just really resistant to that kind of organised religion, you know. Like I said, it has many, many good points, but it is the 5 that is really drawing my eye. And where the Hierophant generally represents that which is solid, here it's meaning something else. It means that there is something solid in your life that is wavering. It's those sort of pre-rumbles before something falls down. Now, I do think that you are aware of this, because we do have the Ace of Swords appearing next to it. It feels to me like you are actively thinking about this thing, whatever it is. But this 5 of Wands, it can speak to conflict, and it could be that you've fallen out with somebody who forms part of a big part of your history, right? It's absolutely possible here. And much like the Sagittarius reading that I've just done, actually, it could be your very recent past. This could have happened in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. But this actually could have happened a considerably longer time ago than that. And what we've got is a new sense of understanding of an old falling out, right? You know, one of the other ways that I see the Hierophant is, you know, your history. What makes you, because it doesn't really change that much. Through organised religion, they like to kind of grind on in exactly the same way that they have before. There's not much innovation in religion, right? So what we've got is your kind of past narrative of your history kind of stretching out before you, and the way in which you've kind of fallen out with that. So somebody important from your past, possibly, you know, a situation that you kind of thought would go on forever, but then for whatever reason didn't. And this kind of restless moving energy where you're not doing what you thought you would be doing, and you're not even really sure what it is that you're supposed to be doing, but you're thinking about it now. Tell me about this Ace of Swords, please, because you seem to be getting some sort of clarity on it. We've got the King of Pentacles here. That's Taurus energy too. And we've got the Hermit, which is Virgo. There is a lot of earth energy here for you at the moment. And this is, you know, the Pentacles cover everything from, you know, your absolute basic needs. Food, water, shelter, that sort of thing. Right up to the more opulent and more extravagant, you know, position of material prosperity that we see indicated here in the King of Pentacles, who's always looked, you know, rather lavish with all of his gold and things like that, you know. It's an energy of great abundance, is the thing. But it seems like the clarity that you're getting is to do with your history, it's to do with your past, it's to do with levels of responsibility, but it's to do with the way in which you are anchored. You know, like I said, it does feel like it's your past story, whatever that is. But with the arrival of this Hermit, requiring you absolutely to go within and start looking at things, you know, undertaking a personal journey where perhaps the narrative is changing or it is being challenged in some way. You know, it could be that you're feeling completely cut adrift. That I could absolutely see that too. And maybe you're finding the meaning in why it is that you've been cut adrift, why it is that there's been so much upheaval and so much of this 5 energy, this chaotic energy around you and what you're doing. There's something deeper that you're kind of pushing at, which takes us neatly into your current energy. And we have more earth energy here. Now we have Capricorn and the devil right there. Now, this is a tricksy little card. And it covers the ways, you know, it comes down to fear, ultimately. It's about the ways that we are trapped. It's about toxicity. It's about codependence. It's about all of the ways that we trick ourselves into standing still when actually we should be moving. And conversely, you know, all the ways that we trick ourselves into moving when really we should be standing still and facing up to something. It's always an inversion of what it should actually be. And the two cards that came out to clarify it are the Four of Cups and the Six of Wands. And there's a huge, significant push here on abandonment issues, any place in which you've been rejected, you know. And this, the way that it ties together is that because you're starting to find meaning in the reason why you've been cut adrift from your own history, why you couldn't stay stable and secure where you were, and you have had to move, you've had to start being, you know, much less stable than you would like at this point. Feels like it's pushing you towards this devil. It's pushing you to see something that you didn't see before, right? Now, the subconscious is a tricky fish. The shadow is a tricky fish. The devil is a tricky fish. And all of these seem to be working in tandem together, except that you are on a journey to go and find this thing, whatever this thing is. And I think it may not even have a proper form as yet. It's just a feeling. It's something that you can't quite tap into. But it's leading you to a place, almost like a boss battle with your own particular demon, because it feels like an either or here. It's like either you can continue. Well, actually, let's look at it the other way. You know, what do these two cards have in common? Well, they're numbered 5, right? But they sit between here and here. So we've got 4 of Cups, 6 of Wands, and then we've got these 2 5 cards, the thing that you have been wrestling with, you know, for a little while. Oh, excuse me. You can either move forwards or you can move backwards. It's as simple as that, right? And by moving backwards, it's ultimately really just staying where you are. And that might feel quite attractive with how, you know, unstable things have been for you for quite a long time. But there's an opportunity here to push through into something else, right? So you can either stay here and stay here with these abandonment issues, this fear of rejection, you know, this maybe it's even a fear of advocating for yourself, or you can push through, you can lean into what is uncomfortable for you here. You know, if you have had rejections in the last couple of years that have really, really hurt you, then, you know, spending time with the nature of that rejection and why it has affected you so badly would be a really, really good way of leaning into this discomfort. Because, you know, it's a very smart man has said to me, like, the way out is through. There is no shying away from this energy as it is presenting right in front of you. So this could be coming up by way of a situation that is arising in front of you, or because we are currently, well, we're about to head into Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadow period at the moment, and we've got a humdinger of a full moon, which I think has got some sort of eclipse with it as well, right? There is a lot of energy supporting you here in going within and looking at that which you do not want to see, or that which is trying to pretend to you it doesn't exist, you know? Let's have a look at this. Tell me about this. There we go. We've got the Ten of Swords. There's an opportunity here to let something end properly. Got the Tower card. Wow. Pulling out all the big energies here, Pisces. But you know what? I'm not actually even slightly concerned about it. This is the thing. Like, it feels uncomfortable, and it feels like it's going to need to be lent into somewhat, but it doesn't feel dreadful, which is interesting because we do have the Tower here, and we've got the Ten of Swords. We've also got the Emperor here, which is interesting, and immediately I feel control, right? A lot of you have issues with other people trying to control you, right? But there's an opportunity here to face this devil and bring this situation to an end. Like, Ten of Swords is not comfortable, generally speaking, but I tell you what, this woman here, she looks really quite peaceful. She really does, you know. Tens always indicate endings, and there is an ending here for you, but I don't feel like it's outside of you. I think that everything is quite fluid outside of you at the moment. It's shifting and changing, you know. It's inside here that matters. This is where the big tower moment needs to happen for you. I don't usually do this with this, but I'm nosy, and I feel like there's going to be a lot to talk about in Vimeo, so I just want to get a chance to look at it. Tell me about this tower. We've got the Five of Wands again. There's the Five of Wands. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which has come out kind of sideways, which is interesting because it means you are starting to get close to what it is that needs to fall down. Look at that. You have the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. If you haven't seen the Tower of the Abyss before, it has it has an extra Ten of Swords and an extra Three of Swords, with slightly different interpretations that can be drawn from the images that are, you know, there. They've got two normal, you know, relatively standard depictions, but then they also have alternate interpretations, and this is the alternate of the Three of Swords. Let me just pop that back up there again so that you can see it. Right, this is somebody learning from their mistakes. This is somebody absolutely filling their mind with wisdom that has come from a book that has already been written. Your history, your past, Pisces. Right? Not trying to run away from it, not avoiding it, but actually facing it head on and saying, well, what have I learned in this time? You know, what do I need to take forwards? Because I feel like the Tower for you is cutting yourself loose from the ways that you have kept yourself trapped within, you know? Almost like you can't put down roots. It's almost like the energy of the universe is actually keeping you fucking moving, because if you stopped, you would put down roots and you would entrench what is sitting in here with it. So what we've got is all this chaos going on outside of you that you are having to learn to roll with a little bit, ready for what seems to be somewhat of a crescendo for you during this month, or certainly the period that you're in now, where you are needing to face those things that make you feel stuck in here and bring very neat conclusion to all of them, because the Tower card will not be ignored, right? This is coming whether you want it or not. And often actually the message of the Tower card is that you were given opportunities to sort this many, many times, and now the universe is taking over. Now the universe is going to do it for you, you know, sometimes in a kind of sudden and shocking way, but it is always for your higher good. You know, we've got that Five of Wands there again, the conflict. I feel like the conflict is either with people outside of you, but it could well be inside of you too. You know, this kind of constant push-pull. Do I want this thing? I don't want this thing. Do I want to be around people? I don't want to be around people. Do I want to connect with people desperately? No, I don't want to connect with people. You know, it's asking you to find that balanced place between the two, because the way out is through for you here. You know, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Now, that way up, upright, I like it very much. I actually like it in the reverse as well, because this is someone who is taking stock of their life. It's going, right, where is all of my energy going? Which direction is it going in? And do I need to put more into it, or do I need to pull it out? Because what it is right now is basically fucking mediocre. Something isn't quite right with this, and I need to shift it. I need to change it. When it's in the reverse, for me, then it's about really identifying what needs to be done, what actions need to be taken. It's come out sideways. You're not quite either or yet, Pisces. There's a little bit more work that needs to be done here. I think that control forms a huge part of this, actually. But the question is, do you want to stay where you are? Or do you want to move? Like, do you, I don't mean like physically move, I mean, do you want to grow? Do you want to expand? Because at the moment, rather than being clamped down and locked down and slightly claustrophobic in one place, it's like everything's just kind of rolling, and there's no chance to try and squirrel yourself away in a quiet hole somewhere to let everything just die down and then you'll come out again. It's like, no, it's just following you around wherever you go. So now it's time to start facing down the devil that is trying desperately to keep you pinned where you are. Tell me about this. Yeah, we've got the Emperor card clarified by the Queen of Swords with the World and the High Priestess. Oh, well, okay. Six of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Are you noticing how for every 5 that we have, we're getting another 6 that is coming out again, right? The way out is through. It's time to keep moving. Now is not time to stay still. But you're going through yourself, not through situations in front of you. You know, there's a showdown here going on. And you're being asked to go to battle here. But she always looks like she's just doing, you know, some sort of pre-battle prayer where she's just, you know, connecting with her sword and asking for, you know, help in the battle that she's about to go into. We've got the World card and the High Priestess coming out here. Like, the World card is the end of a major cycle. Now remember that I said right at the beginning, it's about what you choose, Pisces. This is very, very important because it requires your choice to close out this cycle that you are in right now, right? Where it's full of upheaval. There is no comfort really to speak of anywhere. It's just constantly undulating, you know? It's actually asking you to take charge of this rather than it being necessarily control issues, although some of your avoidance and whatnot may have come from others trying to control you. I think it's actually asking you to take control of things yourself and really step into the power that you hold, you know? Every single sign that I've read for this month has got something around the idea of removal of blocks, right? And we've got some humdinger, like I said, some humdinger fucking full moon that's coming up. We've got the eclipse, we've got Mercury retrograde. There is a confluence of events here, and all of the energy is pushing everyone that I have read for so far, and I've done, what, 2/3, 3/4 of the readings now, towards working through whatever blocks are being shown to them, right? Whatever the devil represents to you, it's time to face it down. It's time to release anything that is stopping you moving forwards and stopping you being exactly who you are supposed to be. It is time to move, right? So for all these 5s, Hierophant, the 5 of Wands, what else do we have? 5 of Wands again. We've got the 6 of Wands, we've got the 6 of Pentacles, we've got the 6 of Swords. All of these elements are coming in for you. What's the one that's missing? 6 of Cups. And you wouldn't need the 6 of Cups because the 6 of Cups is the past. You need to be going forwards here. Now when we get into May, when we are in May properly, I know these readings are late on. Thank you for waiting for me. I appreciate that. We've got the 10 of Wands, right? Now that is a card of burden. It is a card of things being really hard. The interesting thing is, though, what I heard when I turned that card over was you make it look easy. No? There is no doubt about the amount of work that is required from you to do this thing, but you will make it look easy because I think that you are better equipped to deal with this than you think you are. And half of that issue is because you don't realize that you can choose, right? We've got the 5 of Pentacles. Oh yes, there's another 5, right? 5 of Pentacles. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Pentacles and Death over here, right? Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy has been coming up in a lot of the readings. Been like, hey, it's ready to transform. Be ready to transform. You get to choose. Do you continue not meeting your own basic needs? Do you continue being in this place of upheaval and chaos around you? Or do you choose to do things differently? Do you choose to transform? Do you choose to start again somehow, some way? Remember, when the aces for me are about the brand new starts, right? And obviously the Fool. When you get the pages, this is taking something that is already established and this is building on it. It is doing something with it, right? For me, the Page of Pentacles is about discovering the value of something. And so we've got the value of change, the value of evolution, the value of transformation being indicated here over consistent instability, consistent inconsistency. Do you see where it is? Right? The only thing that you need to realize at this point is that you make it look easy. You can do this. And whatever you've been avoiding dealing with, it really just needs you approaching it head on. And that unlocks an awful lot of things for you, not because you've dealt with a problem, but because you stood up and you did it, right? You chose to act rather than chose to stand still. And that is going to be more important for you than anything else this month. Right, this is very interesting. I'm going to go over to Vimeo now. So if you would like to join me, you are very, very welcome. Obviously, if you follow me on Patreon, that's already up there. You can go and watch it now. It's a very interesting month. And I think that there are bits of this month where it might feel a little bit overwhelming, a little bit suffocated. But just remember, you get to choose. So if you're feeling suffocated, put yourself where you're not suffocated so that you can think properly. You know, if there's something coming up that makes you feel uncomfortable, then look at it and don't try and avoid it. Look at it and go, oh, hello, devil. What have you come to tell me? What have you come to try and trick me about? Because I think your capacity to deal with this stuff is far, far, far in advance of where you think you are able to deal with it. You just have to choose. So I'm going to leave it there. Know that I love you all very, very much. And I'll see you soon.